It's the three little words some people need to hear to get through the day. You've got mail. Next, find out if you're an email addict and get helpful tips on taking back control.
It's an addiction that many of us have, but very few choose to admit it. The symptoms include cramped fingers, eye strains, and using LOL as part of your everyday vocabulary.
Yes, we're talking about email addicts. If you have an addiction, or at least think you do, there's a 12-step program now designed to help you log off and move on. Marcia Egan, CEO of Egan Email Solutions, is here with some tips. Marcia, you're here just in time.
Great to be here. It seems kind of funny. I mean, people think, oh, we need a 12-step program to move on, but it really is a problem.
Well, a lot of people think it's kind of funny because they have very funny things that they do with their email, but it can be a little bit tragic too, because what's happening is they're doing things that take up extra time, and that's taking time away from the people and the things they want to do in their lives.
So what are some of the signs that you might be an email addict?
Well, one of the biggest signs would be if you name your kids Mozilla, Firefox, and Google. But really, if you find yourself spending much more time on your email than maybe playing with your kids or doing something nice with your spouse, and it just kind of takes over your life.
And you know, Marcia, I think it's not even so much the person who's doing it that realizes they're doing it, it's those people around them. I mean, how many times, ladies, guys, have you been on a date with someone and every 2 minutes they're down in their little whatever, their BlackBerry? Isn't that annoying?
That's wait a minute.
Worst.
Have you experienced that? That's wrong.
I know. That's a whole nother subject.
That should be the last date with that person.
I was just going to say, that's rude.
But it happens a lot.
It really does. And people who are doing it don't even realize it. I played golf with someone who pulled out his BlackBerry after every shot.
Right.
Every shot. It's like, do you want to play golf or not?
And doesn't it make you feel, you're a little stressed and tense. So what can we do to break the addiction?
Well, the very first thing you have to do is say, I have a problem, or I want to get better. I want to take control. And by taking control, what we're going to do is decide when we are going to look at our email, not when it wants us to look at it by going ding. Do you know that?
So
Ding.
turn off the automatic alert.
Oh, turn off the automatic send receive, or if you can't do that, shut your email down. And then the second thing you want to do is, instead of leaving everything in your inbox, now a lot of people do that, and it's not an awful thing, but if you can take it and put it into other folders where you can go get it instead of it looking at you, you're going to really reduce your stress. So you put it into action folders and you put it into reference folders.
Now, are we talking about people who have all this professional email coming their way, or people with personal email? Because a lot of professionals, maybe it's that guy on the golf course with the BlackBerry who thinks there's some big deal coming through, think they have to plug in because it's their job.
Well, it's really apparent in the professionals, but it is also apparent in people's personal lives. I mean, there are people who will spend all weekend on email and on the internet instead of going to the gym or taking an outing with their kids or whatever it might be. So it's pervasive, and it's not just in America. This is a worldwide thing. It really is.
Now, what's your 2-minute rule?
The 2-minute rule. This is Marcia's 2-minute rule. If the mail comes in, what we want you to do is, if you can handle it in 2 minutes or less, handle it, start to finish. If it's going to take you more than 2 minutes, put it in an action folder. And then what we're going to do is go back to it later. So if you get 7 new emails, I know you're giving me that look.
Because I won't go back to it.
Well, I'll put it in the other folder, and that'll be the end of it.
That's it.
Right.
I'm done with that.
Well, but here's the cool thing. It used to be, before we had email, once a day people would organize their desk and organize their day. Didn't you do that? Usually.
Probably.
Okay, all right. Well, they say that if you really want to manage
organize people do.
Okay. If you want to really organize your time, what you want to do is, once a day, plan the day. So if you're planning the day, it's not just your email. It's what your boss wants you to do. It's what you put on your list. It's what came in the U.S. Postal Service mail. You put them all on a table and decide what's most important for that day. and then you'll remember to go in. Yes, you will, Bill.
Okay.
You'll remember to go in. So that's kind of how we do it.
Well, the other thing you say is that if you're not working on it, then you should close it.
Yes, you
Don't just
should.
leave it up.
Yeah, and there's a really good reason for that, and that is, I think everybody here knows the ding. The ding. Every time you look up at that ding, you've interrupted yourself. I call it an I-terrupt. I just interrupted myself. And so what happens is you have to recover from it. And a recovery takes about 4 minutes for you to get back in the zone. And what you don't realize is if you're interrupted only 30 times at work, that's 30 times 4 minutes. That's 2 hours of you just recovering from an interruption.
So all this email is making us less productive then?
Yes. Yes, it really, and it's sneaking up on us. People aren't realizing it because it's 4 minutes here and 4 minutes there. So if you turn it off when you're working on a project, you've just minimized or reduced the number of interruptions you have.
And if people need to spread the word about email addiction, where can they turn, Marcia?
Our web address is Egan, E-G-A-N, emailsolutions.com, and we have a bi-weekly tips e-newsletter for those email addicts, of course. They like to get more email that they can get for free.
An important email that should be read then.
Exactly.
All right,
Make sure
Marcia.
you set aside time to read it. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you, Marcia. We'll put a link to your website on our website at NBC10.com.
Thank you,
Make it
and
easy
happy
for you.
emailing.
Thank you.
We're back with more 10 right after this.